Welcome to another update of Isle of Trials MMO Play to Earn game on the Dynamo chain, showcasing several new features here. We have a new map that you see here. I've converted all of the static meshes into a proper landscape, which I've designed here, and then I completely redid all of the area around the castle. So, for example, where it was all crazy pointy areas, this is all nice proper mesh around the oars here. Behind the castle, you can actually go and have counter areas there, and then through entire interior of the adjusted all of the heights to the original geometry. I haven't added the water yet, so I just need to do that still. But basically, is looking pretty good. You may find a couple plants here and there, or the ability where you can look underneath a rock a little bit, something like that. I'll go through and clean those things up later on. The big update here is that we have player housing. So I've created 4 sort of level 1 houses right here. And you can see how on the map I've been able to draw these nice sort of pathways now that the landscape is proper. I also have this kind of stone pathway that I've started to create and look at. This is also another version of a player house, a larger version. I have two copies right now of houses, and I'm going to be populating the world over the next couple of days with several player houses that can all be purchased in game. All of that is working. I'm going to demonstrate that to you right now. So let's jump into the game. This is still out for release. I'm going to push this binary out, like I said, in a couple of days. I'm still doing some development and testing on it. We have newbie 825 here. And newbie 825, so that's one of the first updates. You can now equip an item, and it is attached to your person. If you unequip it, it gets removed. If you want to equip something else, you can do that. You can equip both arms, both hands rather. And so we have that kind of cool stuff. All right. I don't have a way to close the window, so I'm just going to log back in. If I press escape, it stops the editor. So, okay. So we have these houses for sale, 125,000 gold. I'm not sure that I'm going to keep that yet. I'm going to need to tune the economics so that all of the ROIs make sense for whatever can be gathered off of that based on whatever upgrades and perks it has. But basically, if you see a sign with, you see a house with a for sale sign, that means that nobody owns it. You'll see that you cannot go onto that land. So there's a sphere that is blocking anyone from getting on there. So here's another house that's for sale. You can't get there. You can't say click on the door, any of those kinds of things. So the only thing, and that you see there's a crafting table in the back here. You can't click on that. The only thing you can do is click on the for sale sign. So we'll go ahead and click on this one. That will activate the sort of merchant window, if you will, where you click on buy house. It'll give you the price, and then you can go ahead and buy it. So now you see a house is purchased, the for sale sign goes away, and I can then go on to the property. However, I'm the only one who can go on the property. No one else can except the owner right now. That means I can go open the door and go inside and see my nice empty house. So let's change that. The houses can be upgraded. There are lots of different modules. So you go back to this little crafting table thing here, and you click on that, and here's the different things that you can do. So there's corrals where you're going to be able to keep animals. I don't have that implemented yet. There's crops. Let me just turn around here. So when you purchase it, it then becomes available. So there's a bunch of crops. The crops are essentially staged resource gathering points. So there's 16 points here. Anytime that it's got that sort of little firefly gold thing around it, that means it's ready to be harvested, so or upgraded. So in this case, you're going to water the crops. So you click on that, and it changes to the next level. I'll click on a couple more here, and the basic idea is that you're doing like a Farmville kind of thing. All right, the cooldown is very low on these. It's only about 15 seconds, so we'll let that go for a moment. We'll check out a couple of the other things. So I have a fruit tree, which is essentially the same thing as the crops, except it's a tree that yields fruit. And so you see these little tiny apples in there everywhere. And once they reach their cooldown, you can click on them, and then they will move to the next level, and then they can be harvested when they're done with their next cooldown. I have a couple of interior items. So there's a kitchen that you can purchase, and then there's a storage chest that you can purchase. And larger houses will obviously have lots more slots for things, but when you purchase those items, then they become available inside here. The chest will be used to store items. Right now, there's no weight limit on your own inventory, but we'll be implementing that. That'll be sort of one of the restricting game mechanics, is that you can only carry so much. So you'll have to then start to store them somewhere, or be very limited in what you can do, as you have to trade out or sell things or whatever else. So the chest will have some kind of storage capacity. There'll probably be 2 or 3 chests that you can purchase. The kitchen will be used for crafting. None of this is functional right now, but you can see I've got some herbs placed out, and then a couple of pots where we can do some kind of crafting thing, where you say you can make a soup and it'll take 2 hours and be some kind of special restorative healing thing or something like that. So those are some of the interior upgrade items. I'll have a lot more like forages and other things like that as well. And then the last one I have is this herb garden. And so that looks like this. And when you click on that, then it gets to the next level. So those are kind of like watering the herbs. Let's see if a couple of these guys started. So this one has 4 stages of upgrades. I'm thinking that we might have water as a resource somehow. So maybe there'll be a well and you have to collect water, something like that. Let's see now. Some of these apples should be done. Okay, so you can see I received 1 apple from that, and then it resets back to its original stage. I got 1 apple. These guys are on to their stage 2. Obviously, all these cooldowns are going to be much longer. We're not going to have 15-second cooldowns for all these different things. So again, we'll have to figure out what the price is of these, how much you can gather, and so on. So when I get it to its final state, it gives me a pumpkin. I'm thinking that I'll have multiple types of crops eventually. So right now it's just pumpkins. If I buy the other crops, oops, the other crops is a little bit buried. If you buy the other crops is essentially the same thing. It's just another field of things. So you see I got 1 pumpkin there. I'm going to collect this pumpkin. Sometimes you'll get 2. Okay, I got 2. It's variable, 1 or 2. And so then these herbs are entering their 3rd stage. At the final cooldown, they'll give you purple flowers as an ingredient. So so that's about it for this update. I've got a couple of other things I'm going to put into this release. Let me cover, there's a wallet function, the get seed phrase. So you can now recover your seed phrase, and that will let you move this wallet into some other wallet. No, I don't have any Dynamo in here, so feel free to recover this wallet wherever you want. It's only on test anyway. But there is the ability now to get your seed phrase out of the wallet. So it is a totally non-custodial wallet. The coins, when you sell or buy gold, you have to be in this wallet, but then you're not limited. You can send it off right away, or you can recover the wallet somewhere else and send the coins. There's no restriction on using this wallet specifically for any purpose other than the buying and the selling of gold. All right, so that's about it for this update. Again, a couple other things will be out in the next release, hopefully by something like Wednesday. We'll be publishing it on itch.io. We'll be doing just some internal testing to make sure that all of the multiplayer stuff is working correctly and that things look right, but it looks like it's going very well. All right, thanks for watching, and hop into our Discord if you have any questions or suggestions, etc. We're open to all kinds of development items and hope to make this a really fun game. Thanks.